Hey everybody, Steve-O here for Movies and TVs on the Ball, and happy Netflix night where I look at something on Netflix and talk about it. And this week I'm talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme in Timecop from 1994. This film stars him, Mia Sara from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I think it stars one of the guys, character actor as well. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the story takes place where a kind of a in the future of the year 2004. This film came out in 1994. Time travel is happening, and there's a new time force called that sort of monitors time throughout history. We see kind of the beginning, kind of the blueprint of the time force, um, where where they go through the Civil War, which is pretty much the furthest they go back in this, which I kind of feel like is a is a more. It would have been more cool if we got to see him, see Van Damme go back in time and kick a Velociraptor. But this one deals with a corrupt senator who wants to, run for president, and it deals with him trying to take over the time crusade. It's a good movie. I think for a Van Damme movie, it works pretty well. It deals with the I like the time travel idea. I think it works. I like how it works. The Van Damme has a girlfriend played by Mia Sara from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, who he's madly in love with, and she ends up getting killed. So he goes back in time to kind of prevent that from happening, and he meets his double self. This film is pretty much famous for having the famous split, Van Damme split between the two tables, which in the kitchen scene, that's pretty much what it is kind of reminded of. But I really think this film has great ideas on the whole time travel subplot, but it kind of they focus too much on, there's a bandit going back in time to, kind of the same idea of Marty McFly getting the book from 20, to the villain goes back in time to like 1920s before the stock market crashes and invests money in this to make himself rich. There's I think it has great ideas, and the action's pretty good for what it is, but I feel like the whole time travel idea or scene um, works. The whole time travel scene works where we get to see, I think there's like four different timelines, and then the story kind of goes through different time. And it's kind of cool to see 90s futuristic movies take place in the years that we are already past, because this film takes place in 2004. And so it kind of has a lot of things. I think this is a good, decent action film for Van Damme. You kind of know what you're getting at. I think it's I like the time travel aspect. Mia Sara and Van Damme have great chemistry together, and I think that this film really this film has really interesting time ideas. I think I think it's a good matinee film. On my action film scale from 1 to 10, this is more different. Your scale from 1 to 100, this is pretty much a solid 78. I think it works pretty good for what it is, and I think Van Damme does. It's a pretty cool action film, and the time travel ideas work. We see them shoot laser guns. The villain is kind of the corporate businessman of the, still kind of holding on to the corporate businessman idea of the 90s and 80s. kind of thing, and we get to see and the car, like you can kind of tell it's futuristic because the cars are different, and I think it's an okay movie. On my scale from 1 to 100, I think as a Van Damme movie, I think it's a solid 7. But if you've seen this movie, let me know in the comments below. I think it's pretty good, and um, I would want to know your thoughts on Timecop. Let me know in the comments below, and what other time travel movies would you want me to cover or have a discussion with? And I think Time Cop actually did pretty well enough that it warrant a direct-to-video sequel, and I think a television series as well. If you've seen those, let me know as well. As always, I'm Steve, and see you at the movies. And oh my gosh, I'm out of time, so see you. And as always, like and subscribe. Peace.